Imagine this. Men stay at home doing the housework while we women go to work. Forget the backlash over stay-at-home moms. Now it's stay-at-home dads under fire. That's right. Trophy husbands are ruling the playground as their high-powered wives stake out the corner office. So is dad the new mom?
Jake Howard Potter is used to being a fish out of water.
What are some of the things that you guys do in class?
Floating on our back.
He's been a stay-at-home dad for almost 4 years.
Mommy!
Is that her? I don't think so.
We were with him 2 years ago when his daughter Skylar was still in diapers.
Can you put him back down on the shelf?
No!
Today, he has his hands full with the new addition, 8-month-old Lyndon.
It's really just absolutely amazing to watch and be a part of. Ouch! I'm definitely still enjoying it. It's quite a bit more work than I had anticipated. It's very difficult to be in more than one place at one time.
He does everything a mom would do, from swim class to nap time.
Night, take a nap. There are certainly a lot more fathers that are much more involved because it's become more prevalent in the media, because it's been written about more, because there are more people doing it. I think it's much less weird dad in the playground with a kid. It's just, oh, there's a dad with their kid in the playground.
It wasn't long ago that stay-at-home dads were portrayed as bumbling Mr. Moms.
So just hold her, will you, so I can get the diaper off? Oh!
Like the clueless guys from 3 Men and a Baby who couldn't figure out how to change a diaper. But today's stay-at-home dads are geared up and pushing strollers with pride. Like the dudes group from What to Expect When You're Expecting.
It's a reality. People sort of think of, stay-at-home dads as the bumbling Mr. Mom from the movies. And, whether that's a stereotype set up by Hollywood and then has been reinforced by the public, it's certainly something that I considered when I decided to be a stay-at-home dad. All that being said, I challenge anybody that's sitting in an office for 8 hours a day to come try to do what I do with these 2 kids on a daily basis.
But it's not all play dates and playgrounds. Despite the progress, stay-at-home fathers can still be a target for ridicule. Just last month, doting dad Doween Richards uploaded this photo of himself doing his daughter's hair. It went viral. Some women swooned, but the haters came out too, with ugly comments. He probably rented those kids. They don't even look like him. Or, I would bet anything that you're a deadbeat. But his simple message was a blog post called, "I Have a Dream that people will view a picture like this and not think it's a big deal." Tom Stocky shares that dream. He took 4 months off from his job at Facebook to care for his newborn daughter.
She would find new things to try to eat, new things to try to stick her fingers into. There were lots of dangers looming on all sides.
But he was surprised by all the unsolicited comments, often snarky, he got along the way.
There were just insanely low expectations for me as a dad. Someone's like, oh, that's so great that you're bringing your daughter to the grocery store. But then I was like, well, of course I am.
Stocky vented on Facebook about comments slamming moms who work when dads don't. One stranger cracked, "It's too bad you can't earn as much as your wife, so she can be the one to stay home."
I think it's a traditional gender stereotype that we all buy into to some extent.
That mommies are better than daddies.
Mommies are better at that kind of mommying than daddies.
Lisa Miller wrote a controversial piece called Retro Wife in New York Magazine, where she says women shouldn't feel bad for opting out of their career.
This idea that you have to go out as a woman and, be ambitious and be driven and play with the big boys, that's a very specific message for a very specific kind of woman. Most women, and I would venture to say most people, don't have that kind of ambition and are never going to make that kind of money. And in light of that, what is the harm in deciding to stay home with your children?
On the flip side, stay-at-home dads have to fight the perception that they're mooching off their wife's salary. Greg Jobson Larkin spent 12 years in the Navy. Now he runs a tight ship at home, looking after 4 kids.
The in-laws think I'm a bum. I should be out there working. Why is my wife working and I'm not working? And I'm like, I am working. If it were reversed, you wouldn't be saying your daughter's a bum. You'd be saying, oh, what a good mother she is. I'm a great father. Try to respect that if you can. It's cool.
For a lot of stay-at-home dads, it is strictly a numbers game. Their wives out-earn them. Jake is an artist. His wife, Erica, is a tax lawyer.
I need a kiss.
Have a good day. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Blow kisses.
Bye-bye.
We spent the day at her office before baby number 2.
The same way I can sit and be a lawyer and be very focused and sit at a desk and you know, I'm a tax lawyer, and so I can look at tax returns and change numbers and go back and, oh, this changes this number. This is not the way his mind works, and it's very frustrating to him.
The women like Erica who bring home the bacon are often criticized for not being home with their kids. On this night, she had only 30 minutes of mommy and me time.
2. A lot of women I know, even hardworking, ambitious, out in the workforce women, hold this idea that unless they make the sandwich isn't as good.
What's your baby?
Marriages like Jake and Erica's are still in the minority. Even though the numbers of at-home dads have doubled in the past 10 years, it's still a small number, less than 200,000. Working mom Beyonce sings about running the world. She recently weighed in with an editorial on working women. We need to stop buying into the myth about gender equality. It isn't a reality yet. The average working woman earns only 77% of what the average man makes. Men have to demand that their wives, daughters, mothers, and sisters earn more. So why are we viewed as less equal?
The most stressful thing on a marriage is when people are living roles that they didn't expect. They will find it emasculating if they have an idea of themselves as, you know, the knight in shining armor, or the breadwinner.
All right, you ready to go to sleep, buddy?
But for Jake, there's nothing unmanly about being a dad.
In some ways, guys that stay home with their kids are actually more manly because they're able to kind of, you know, put their egos aside and really, you know, do what's necessary to take care of the kids.